Welcome. It's Facts You Don't Know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more, well, and first make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Officers heard the small trailer barking and crying, which was in a bad state. The walls were dusty, the curtains turned yellow, and the paint was chipped with metal. Cops were knocking. "Someone there?" they shouted. "Police!" For all the barking, it was difficult to hear the cries, so officers wanted to kick down the metal door. The scent made them nauseous from the inside. Then they discovered stench source. Florida's 9/11 operators were used to making all types of calls, from people fighting to disorderly behavior. They'd even been used to calling people pranks. But the staff on the emergency response line are qualified professionals, and they knew what questions to ask when the call was actual. Where are you located? Are you in trouble? Did you get hurt? But what if the caller had not been able to talk or understand the questions? Because of the 2 cups of coffee she drank before sitting at her post, Mary was full of energy when she began her shift Tuesday morning. Now she was wide awake, putting on her headset, turning on her computer, and drinking her 3rd cup of coffee. The office was very quiet, as they had just swapped the morning and night shift. On this fateful day, she had no idea what awaited her. Over the past 3 years, Mary has always said the same line loads of time a day. 911, what's your state of emergency? She was waiting. It was shortly after 8 o'clock in the morning, and she was not in the mood for the pranksters who were usually preying on the night shift. "Hello? Hello?" From 911. "Hi? Hello?" She reached more deeply into her ears with her headphones and cranked the volume up. Then she heard a voice which was tragic. "Mom?" asked the boy. Mary has gone on alert. Why did 911 call this child? "You can hear me?" asked her. But what she heard was she couldn't understand baby talk. "Is your mom or daddy with you there?" On the other end, Mary heard dogs howl and bark. "Hello, hello, have you got your mom or daddy with you?" The hair on her neck's back soared when the boy whispered, "No." The child could not be understood by Mary, and vice versa, which made her worry. "Call mom or dad. Tell them there's someone on their cell, okay?" Through her headphones, she heard a rustling sound. She began asking whether the mother of the child had been hurt. The child then explained, "Oh no, she's gone out." Mary kept asking the child, but the answers were barely audible. How does she support this little girl? "Are you willing to sit with me on the phone and talk to me?" Mary asked as she used her keyboard desperately to triangulate the position of the boy. She had to hold the child on the phone to do this, though. "Do I hear your puppy?" The belling was deafening. "What is your name then? How old are you?" "Nothing." "Nothing." "Are you there anyway?" And the call ended. Fortunately, Mary had the place where the child was. Mary monitored the call to Oak Hill, Florida, and sent a few deputies to investigate. When the cops arrived at the trailer park, when they arrived at the tiny trailer home, they found more than they thought. There was an incredibly filthy shack. 2 dogs were locked in a cage there, but the 3rd was loose, and it really looked violent. Prior to making their way into the house, the police reached out to animal control. But where was that kid? In the corner was a 3-year-old girl who made the call. She wasn't alone. She was with her younger sister, and they were both overflowing with their diapers. They even looked hungry. But when the officers looked in the freezer, all they saw was mold and slime. How long have these children been alone at home? Where was their mother from? How could any parent leave their children in such appalling conditions? Then they saw something scary. The center of the coffee table held a pistol. The toddler picked it up and started to wave it through the air. She also pointed and chuckled at the policemen. But they discovered that it was loaded once the cops took it from the boy. Who would leave children alone with something so dangerous in a home? The cops called the Department of Children and Families immediately to sweep up the children and get them as far away from the deplorable circumstances under which they were. Now it was time to pinpoint the mother. Finding Yahara Taredo, 26, took 2 hours and 6 deputies. The mother told the police that she was only gone for 5 minutes. She said that when she met a friend for coffee, her children were sleeping soundly. But a neighbor confirmed that Torrado had left at 7:30 a.m. on her golf cart. So she owned Torrado up to the error. The cops were aware that when she did not come home for hours, she never planned to check in on her children. She wouldn't be out of the hook soon, anytime. Torrado was arrested by police and charged with 2 counts of child abuse without serious bodily harm. She was appalled to find herself in prison. Her bail was set at $5,000, but she was free to go home to her 3 dogs, thanks to the bail bondsman. Many who learned what she had done, however, would not forgive or forget that she had put her children in harm's way. The 3-year-old daughter of Torrado and the infant child were in state custody while trying to find out whether she was a suitable mother. But it's fair to assume that the state is very cynical, considering the events that happened. Authorities who were at the scene said that when they first arrived at the mobile home, the situation was heart-wrenching. Luckily, though, the children were healthy and did not go to sleep hungry. One person deserves more praise than the police themselves. That's the 911 operator, Mary, who kept the toddler on the phone for 8 minutes. That allowed her to keep track of the call. The whole time she was calm and collected and was able to keep the child focused. Torrado may have forsaken her children, but Mary has not. She opposed, allowing her to scream and bark to prevent her from doing her work. She rescued these children in the end, but has got a disturbing side to the story. Mary was qualified to manage cases such as this one. What happened to the children of Torrado is more widespread than people think, and yet it should never occur. Fortunately, to make everybody safe, emergency workers operate around the clock, and most importantly, others who are too young who need a hand are supporting them. Mary was able to support these children after a worrying distress call until disaster struck. Mary merits a promotion.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.